Galaxy Z Fold 6, I want to talk about what I expect in terms of what's going to come to this phone in terms of specs and features and things like that, especially after seeing the Galaxy S24 Ultra and also after using the Galaxy Z Fold 5 since it's come out. Galaxy Z Fold 6 should be out in August, maybe even July, since they pushed it up a little bit on the Galaxy S24 phone. So maybe we'll see a July release date, but I still think it's going to end up being August. But let's talk about it. So I got this idea from a tweet from the Galox, so I took a little bit of what he said and added in some of my own as well. So let's go through that list of things. So first of all, a redesign versus the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, I think we'll see a little bit of a different camera design. One, I think we'll see it closer to what these cameras look like, which are very similar, don't get me wrong, but I still think it'll be a little bit more in line with what we see with the Galaxy S24 Ultra series. And I don't think it'll be the S24 Ultra cameras, I think it'll still be the S24 Plus cameras, but I still think it'll look a little bit maybe more in line with that and just be a little bit more designed that way. But also with a redesign, there's rumors already that we're going to see a larger outside display and potentially a larger inside display as well. Now, there's been rumors it's going to be two Galaxy S24 Ultras together. That would make up the inside display and the outside display. I would love for that to happen personally. I know some of you wouldn't. Some of you love the skinnier outside display, but then I feel like the majority of the people don't like this skinnier outside display. And plus, we've had this skinnier outside display since the launch of the Galaxy Z Fold series, which was basically, what, 5 years ago or so from the release of this phone. So it's high time they change it, make this wider, make it more usable, make it more in line with maybe like the way OnePlus does it on their folding phone. And obviously the Pixel Fold has a larger, meaning wider outside display. So it needs to happen. I think it's time, and it helps with the redesign of all of that. And speaking of the display, I think that since we saw it in the S24 Ultra, I think we're going to see some kind of anti-reflective material built into the displays on the inside and outside displays of the Galaxy Z Fold 6. It's nice, I guess, in terms of it's not going to be as reflective, but at the same time, potentially, it might make the colors less vibrant, less saturated on the phone of the Z Fold 6 versus what we've had on other Z Fold phones. So that might be a little bit of a turn off. We'll have to wait and see, because there's rumors also with the S24 Ultra they might push out an update to add more saturation into the color of the display. But still, I still think we're going to see some kind of anti-reflectiveness, so it doesn't reflect as much on the sun and lighting in general. I think we're going to see 2000 nits of brightness. This one went up to 1750 nits of brightness, but I think ultimately it's going to go up to 2000. I don't think it's going to get as high as what we see in the S24 series, but I think it'll be higher than the Z Fold 5. So I think we'll see about 2000 nits. I'll be happily wrong if it gets up to 2600 nits, but again, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy, without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't it have that? And I don't think you're going to have an Exynos variation of this. So I think across the nation and the world, you're going to get Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor built in to this. So really good battery life, really good performance in general versus any other phones out there. The 12 gigs of RAM, I don't think that's going to move up to 16. They didn't do it with the S24 series. I don't think they're going to do it with the Z Fold 6, especially with the cost of RAM potentially going up really high in 2024. I don't think they're going to try to pass that cost on to their consumers. So I think 12 gigs of RAM will hold steady in the Z Fold 6, which honestly is pretty good. Thinner and lighter, we've heard that as well, that it's going to be a thinner and lighter design on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. That wouldn't surprise me at all. They continually make this thing thinner and lighter and better design in general, so I expect more of the same. Now, to go back to the display real quick, I do think the crease in the screen will continually get less and less. We saw it with much better, I don't know, you can't even think of the word, but seeing it a lot less in, say, like a OnePlus Fold. I think that's going to carry over to the Z Fold 6, where they're going to continually get that crease in the middle of this bigger display to be lesser than what we've seen in the past. Maybe we'll see a titanium frame like we did on the S24 Ultra. That wouldn't surprise me. It is a premium phone. Why wouldn't they add a titanium frame to make it feel a little bit cooler and better? and better and rugged design. Bigger cooling system, they added it to the S24 Ultra. I also think they'll add a bigger cooling system to the Z Fold 6 so that you can game longer, you can do more tasks that are more intensive with the processor and the GPU. So I think, yeah, we will see more cooling built into this phone. S Pen support, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think we're gonna see S Pen support finally on the front display. Obviously, we'll still see it on this inside display. I think we'll see it on the outside display as well. And in terms of, is it gonna be integrated? I don't think it's gonna be integrated still. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they'll just have more cases that hold the phone and hide it a little bit better, maybe than previous generations of it. AI integration, without a doubt, it was on the S24 phones. It's coming to the S23 and the Z Fold 5. So you can expect a lot of those, or all of them, I should say, AI integrations or advanced smart systems built into the One UI 6.1 or whatever version this has to come to the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Without a doubt, you can put money on it. Why wouldn't it? It's a big push for them. And then lastly, I think the other thing that we're gonna see is increased charging speeds. We've been at 25 watts on this phone for a while. The Ultra phone has 45 watts. That's the fastest on any Samsung phone. I think finally on the Z Fold 6, we'll see 45 watt charging from here on out. But those are my thoughts and some of the things we know, some of the things that are speculation about the Galaxy Z Fold 6. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.